Hello everybody. I was out here shooting my bow a few times, and Creek Walker Gator right here, and I'd making pretty good shots, and I moved up close practicing a few, and I was not shooting as good as I'd liked up close. I mean, you think it is hard to miss a deer at 10 yards? That's where you're wrong. I have missed more deer probably 12 yards or less than I have over 12 yards. And it's really from a tree stand up high. I mean, not necessarily real high, but if your shot is pretty close, your target is smaller, the kill zone. And what you'll end up doing if you're not careful is, if you don't really place that shot, is you'll shoot over that close lung. And a one lung deer can go a long ways. I remember once myself, Chris Spikes, and Lance Coleman, we trailed a deer probably a solid mile, maybe a shade more than that. Chris shot that deer. It was a buck, probably a 170-pound buck. He shot him that morning at about 8 o'clock. We gave him till 3 because he had already ran farther than you know, a double lung deer, and plus Chris thought his shot was back a little bit. So we gave him till 3 o'clock. It was decent weather. We took up the track at 3 o'clock. Lance killed a pig while we were tracking the deer. So he took the pig to camp and came back, and we ended up finding the deer about 5 o'clock. And the deer was still alive. Deer jumped up, ran about 50 yards, and went back down. Chris shot him again in the same hole. Unbelievable. But my point to that story is, a deer can go a long ways, and you may lose him on a one lung shot. Chris shot the deer with a 2-inch tree shark, and we were joking, saying that we would have all went hunting that evening if he'd have shot him with a narrow or broadhead, because we'd have gave up. We wouldn't have been no blood. And we was able to keep enough blood to trail him for a mile. So my point to that is, practice the close shots. Don't let those gimme shots get you. It's easy to miss a deer close. They're more wired. They hear the sound of the bow closer, you know, and they'll turn inside out on you. And especially if you guys on the ground, you say, well, I hunt off the ground. Don't think you're gonna quick draw a deer. You're not. Shoot that, I mean, pick your spot low, because he's gonna squat close to you like that. But practice those close shots. If you're in a tree stand, your body is pretty much out of position than you would be just shooting out here, right? Everybody knows you need to practice from a tree stand, and they'll get out there and shoot those 20 and 15 yarders from the tree stand. But what about that 6 or 8 yarder or that 10 yarder? You got to practice leaning into your shot. You got to practice. You got to see it, make sure you're hitting. Sometimes close, I shoot high for some reason, and I don't mean a foot, but a little bit. And this year, I spined a deer that I shot at like 6 yards, and I was looking in the ribs, and I felt myself pull a little bit, but I missed about this much. And you know, that's not a lot, but your target is not that much angling down like that. So you got to practice those close ones, and that's the whole point of this video, is make sure that you practice shooting close. Because if you're a traditional hunter and your shots need to be close anyway, and you're striving for that 15 yarder, some of you guys shooting at 20, you're striving for those shots, well, you'll be surprised if you're getting good enough a woodsman that you're getting those kind of shots, you're gonna get a lot of close ones too. So, and I set up for 10-yard shots. That's what I want. So practice the close shots. Practice them. And because it's a really bad feeling when you miss one. That's a gimme. Thank y'all for watching my video. Y'all keep the good Lord first. And getting closer and closer to deer season. The pigs have been wearing me out. I hadn't killed a pig since February, I think. That's the last animal that I've shot at. And I have been on hogs all through the spring. Yesterday I had hogs at 10 yards that smelled me like 2 seconds away from getting an arrow run through them. So, but they can't win all the time. You got to keep going. It's fun. And there you go again. That was a 10-yard shot. I'd had probably about a 6-yard shot. I had things worked out yesterday. Practice the close shots. You'll be glad you did. See y'all next time.